Guys, so I am finally on YouTube. It is a long time coming. I have been so excited to start this journey, and you know when they say if you want to do something, just do it and don't think. I think that this is the point that I've got to now. It's been really exciting for me to actually get to this point. I feel like I have so much to teach, to share, to give you guys, and I never feel like I can quite do that on other platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Where they're such fast-paced platforms, I've just felt, in a sense, myself in a rush to kind of get the point across really quickly. But now we've got time to do it together, and I'll be able to share more and teach more and really get into the nitty-gritty of my tips, tricks, everything that I have learned in the last 15 to 16 years of being a makeup artist. Yeah, it's going to just be a fun platform without that panicking kind of rush feeling where I need to get everything across in 30 seconds, because it's really hard, guys. Because in this video I'm going to be creating my go-to look, and yeah, it's just like an easy step-by-step. I am going to incorporate all my tips and tricks. I'm not going to hold back nothing from you guys. I am honestly so honest when it comes to teaching. If anyone's been to my masterclasses, you know I don't keep anything back. I want everyone to grow, develop and learn, whether it be on yourself or just to progress as a makeup artist. I'm here to help you and to support you on that journey. So yeah, I look forward to it, and I'm excited to have you guys with me. Let's go. And what do you think of my setup, guys? So I've just created this content makeup room, so where I'll be doing my clients, but also where I'll be filming moving forward. It's just nice to have a space that is aesthetic and, you know, looks nicer, and it also gets me out of the house so my mind doesn't stay in home mode, because it's really hard sometimes when you're creating content to like step out and step outside of your home brain and get into work mode when you don't really feel as inspired. So I hope that this room is going to just be full of inspiration. I mean, clearly it's already working because we're starting YouTube. So what I'm going to start off with, and I'm sure loads of you know this product, it's very, very popular, and it's the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. It's an all-in-one, so it primes and moisturizes at the same time. It's honestly beautiful. The way that it feels on your skin is, I can't explain it, but it kind of feels like silk when it settles into the skin and creates a beautiful base for your makeup. So I'm gonna start with this, and at the moment, I don't know about you, but because it's winter, my skin has been feeling so dry. My skin is thirsty. Anything that will give it a real deep moisturize. And also I love the fact that it smells kind of citrusy, because it just feels a bit like holiday. Takes you into that mode. And I'm sure we could all do with a little bit of sunshine now, especially if you're in a place where it's been raining for nearly 5-6 months. So I just like to work that into the skin. And what this will do is, when you're massaging it into the skin, you want to almost bring that circulation back into your face, so then it plumps the face and the blood gets going. Bring it down to your neck as well. Oh, that feels so nice, guys. You know, like, you know when you're really gasping for some water and you drink water and it feels good? That's how it feels when your skin is dry and you put moisturizer on. If you have more of an oily skin, I would recommend applying your moisturizer and primer maybe 10 minutes prior to applying your foundation, because you just want that to really soak into the skin and not be on the surface where it could make you slightly more oily. Moving on to my base. I used to work for MAC. I was with them for 6.5 to 7 years, and I cannot do my first YouTube without incorporating them into the video, because this face and body for me is one of the best products to exist. It's a water-based foundation, but it looks like a skin tint, yet the pigment in it is so beautiful. And I don't know, when we was in MAC, we was actually taught how to use this product. You apply it with your fingers and you rub it together, it becomes a sticky consistency, and the pigment will get a lot more intense. So let me just show you. I'm gonna go for shade C5, which is a cool tone, so more of a yellow undertone, which is definitely more my kind of base. So when you see, it's kind of like very, very thin, the foundation. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you what happens when you rub it together. It completely changes consistency. There we go, it's changed now. I can actually feel it in my hands. So when you wipe it onto the face, there's a real good coverage versus when I go like that, for example. And it doesn't sit as well because it's still quite watery. Whereas when you rub it together with your hands and it gets tacky, it sits on the skin, it grabs the skin. So it's honestly the way to wear face and body. Rub, apply the product on. So now I've applied the face and body and I haven't actually buffered it in with a brush. So that's what I'm gonna do now. And I'm going to use one of my brushes from my brush set, which is by Sophia Cosmetics. I'm going in with the base brush. Where it's nice and dense, it kind of does the work for you. So now I'm just gonna like pat it into the skin because it's so buildable. You can add one layer and then go straight in with another layer and get such a beautiful finish, but you never ever look like you're wearing a full coverage base. You just look extremely flawless. Now girlies, if you really feel conscious and you have textured skin, sometimes when you add a product that's got too much texture or it's too full coverage, it actually sits on bumps and skin texture worse than when you wear something that's lighter and water-based. I was with MAC for 6.5 years and it taught me honestly most of what I know. Working on the shop floor, nothing beats it. And look, and now I just go in with my brush and I stipple over in the areas that I'd like a bit more full coverage. And look how beautiful it looks on the skin. I have a giant spot on my chin for my first YouTube, but why not? Coffee break. Also, I don't know what's happened, but I think that caffeine might be a toxic trigger for me because I can't drink it anymore. It just seems to upset my stomach so much. So I'm now trying decaf and seeing if it works because I just want the taste of coffee. So I am a huge fan of Shape Tape, Tarte Cosmetics, concealer, Too Faced, multi-purpose. I use it in my makeup kit, but I have to say, ever since I've started using the Hourglass Airbrush concealer, I just love it so much. A little really does go a long way, and the finish of it is stunning. It's like a velvet satin finish. It's definitely a fuller coverage concealer, so depending on how you like your makeup is dependent on how much you will apply, but I like to go in with a little at first, a little to me, and yeah, just build. So I'm just gonna do the inner corners under my eyes, then outer corners under my eyes, around the nose where it gets quite red, middle of the forehead and the chin. And I might do a little bit just on the corners of my lips. I don't know why, I'm just doing what I've seen. But look how quickly it covers. That's another reason why I've always been someone who never likes a full coverage foundation, because I like the center of the face to be flawless, but I know that you can achieve that with concealer. That's why I prefer the base to be slightly more on the natural side, because you can build and it doesn't look too much. And again, I go along my eyelid as well with the concealer, just to neutralize those veins. And when you're using your beauty blender, just don't go too hard. And whatever you do, don't wipe. Pat it into the skin so you get that nice airbrushed feel. I don't know, you know when you get asked that question, what would you take with you to a desert island if you could only take 3 makeup products? What would you guys take? I have no idea. I always go between lip oil, lip liner, mascara. See, if I have a tan, that's what I'd take. But then if I didn't have a tan, I would take bronzer, maybe. We're gonna move on to cream contouring. This actually wasn't something that I learnt in my makeup years on a counter, because it wasn't so big then, and Instagram wasn't yet a thing. So I started this because I always love to learn more and see what's on trend, what's growing, what works. And cream contouring definitely makes a difference to your makeup. It kind of just creates more of a definition and does hold your bronzer so much better. So you're layering up ultimately and you get that cream contour, but then once you pop a bronzer over the top of that, it just adds a depth to it automatically. I've been using the Say, I think it's pronounced Say, and it's a cream bronzer. It's their Sun Melt, and this is the shade Tan Bronze. Very nice shade, so golden and rich. I love it. As you can see, I've really gone in with that. And to apply this, I'm just going to use my brush from my brush belt, and this is called the Definer. So they all have their names on them, which is so much easier, so you know what you can use them for. And I basically just pick up the product, nice and easy, and the brush does the job for you because it is slanted. So top of my ear, and then as if I'm going to the corner of the top of my mouth, but I stop. And now, isolating the product, I'm just gonna buffer it and blend it out. And look how quick, that was so quick, guys. Tools are really important to give you the look that you want to. And I love this color, it's really beautiful. I'm just going to add a bit more to deepen it. I also pop a little on my jaw, just to create like a shadow. At the top of your forehead, where you'd normally catch the sun. Bring it down. Push it into the hairline. So again, you don't have any edges of that. Doesn't it just bring all of that structure back to the face? I also like to pop a little on my eyes, just because that bronze look is really nice. And I'm just going to do the same on the other side. I used to say do bronzer like a C, because we used to go like this. But now, where things have changed so much, now it's a 3, because you're kind of going 1, 2, 3. We've got to go with the times, guys, to an extent. Lovely. I'm not even going to try and cover that big juicy spot because, well, it's not too bad. So now we have some structure and dimension back to the face. I'm also going to contour my nose. This was something that took me quite a while to learn, I'm not going to lie, because again, we didn't learn this when we was working in MAC. It was just a different era, and I mean, I love how it looks. It looks really sharp and definitely can change the shape of your nose in seconds. But what I tend to do is, this is a mistake that a lot of people make when contouring their nose. They basically kind of go like that. But what that will do is it will actually magnify and make a nose look bigger than it is, because what you're doing is highlighting an area that's gonna then look bulky. So you're bringing light to an area that will look bulky. So what you need to do is almost create you're creating a shadow with contouring, remember. So you're gonna bring it further in, then feels natural, but that's the whole point. And you're bringing it down. So then you're creating a very thin center, and you just do the same on the other side. So you're narrowing the center. Can you see that? And that way, you just give that illusion of a slim nose. And if the contour goes too far down on the sides, just get your beauty blender and almost smooth it down, because it will already have product on the sponge, and just bring that in slightly That's it. It may look quite strong now, but when you do apply your powders and set your face and the rest of your makeup, it won't look so obvious. It will blend. I use my nose shadow brush for that because it makes it a lot easier. Absolutely love cream bronzer. I think it just changes the whole look of makeup. It looks so dewy, fresh, glowy. I'm gonna use Encourage by Rare Beauty. I love these, and I like the blusher to be quite high. So I'm just applying it on the higher parts of my cheeks. Now, use these sparingly. I've probably put too much, but I can blend it out. But use these sparingly because 1 dot of Rare Beauty's blusher is so pigmented and so intense, a little goes a long way. I'm gonna use Keep Blushing, my blusher brush, and I'm just gonna pat it first, working that product in, and then pulling it up, still using a patting motion. So whilst you're moving the product, you're still blending it at the same time. That's what I take with me on a desert island blusher. And again, just patting it, but moving it around whilst patting it, so you're getting that nice seamless blend and you're not dragging the product, because dragging a product can either remove it or create lines. Love that. Okay, that's the cream products that I would use on my skin. I'm gonna move on to baking. Let's go for the powder. And now this is my baker. I've called her the baker. And I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom powder because I love that slight pink undertone. Well, I have been loving it so much recently, and this powder really does just set you and keep you going all day. So we love products that do what they say they do. And I'm just gonna dab that under my eyes. Lovely. Now, this brush is slightly tapered, so it fits into the smaller areas under your eyes, near your nose, but also sets the whole face when you're ready. And middle of the forehead, because you know we all get extremely shiny in the T-zone. Maybe not all of us, but a majority. And then on the jaw, the chin, sorry. So, yeah. And let's do a tiny bit under our contour as well, just to get that nice defined look. Okay, so I'm gonna let that bake. In the meantime, I'm gonna just set the cream that I put on my eyes. And while that's baking, move into doing brows and eyes. So I know laminated brows are a really popular thing at the moment, but I want to do something again that's slightly more natural, easier, and just very, very fast. I'm using the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit, and I'm just gonna brush the brows up. I wouldn't even say up actually, I'm just gonna brush them slightly to the side so they look nice and uniform. And then what I'm gonna do is just fill in where I feel it needs that tiny bit more support, if you like. Now where this brush is so fine, you can just draw the hairs in and it's nice and easy. And you can elongate your brows if you prefer. And as you can see, it just very quickly adds definition and frames the face. But it takes no time. So I can't really decide if I'm a fan of laminated brows or not. But all I know is I'm quite lazy with my brows. So maybe my excuse for not being a fan is just because I'm lazy. For my eyes, I'm going to use the Armani, and it's an eye tint. It's like a matte eyeshadow, the way that it sets, and it just looks like a nude, nice cream base. Looks beautiful with either by itself or if you want to add a darker shade into the outer corner, but it's so easy to use and just neutralize. And I use my finger to just blend out the edges. In seconds, you've literally got such a nice clean eye. These are really great eyeshadows actually. You can also get them in many other colours, and the dark brown is so nice for creating a brown smoky eye. Maybe I will do that for you guys so you can see. I also feel like since 2024 has hit, glam's coming back into the picture. I know that my clients have definitely asked for more of a glam look, which I've really enjoyed doing. Don't need a base for this because it sets on your lid straight away. This is shade 20M. And what I'm going to do is, just to bring a bit more dimension back to that, I'm going to use a bronzer, and I'm using the Hourglass bronzer on my round brush, which is called Diffuse. And I'm just going to diffuse some of that bronzer into the outer corner of my eye and bring it in and create a bit of shape where the brow is transitioning into the nose contour. So we just want to get that nice blend. Two products, and honestly just really gives your eyes a beautiful finish. When you use a brush that's a blending brush like this, it does the work for you. You just use it in circular motions to create that diffused, soft, blown out look. Okay, so I'm gonna create a smoky liner now, and I'm gonna showcase this in the easiest way that I know how. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It's a 24-hour waterproof gel eyeliner. I'm using brown, and it sets very quickly, so you've got to do one at a time. I'm just gonna bring it from the outer corner of my eye, creating a line, keeping it very close to the lash line, because that's where you want to get that eye framing, and it brings the eyes to life. And I'm just bringing it in slightly thinner towards the inside, and then I'm going to use a brush that's going to make this part very easy. It's called Smoky, and it's my eyeliner brush, and I'm going to drag that product now, bringing it out to create a very, very light wing and also soften those edges. Love that. Gonna go in a bit more with the corner. So if you just, there we go. And then I'm gonna pull that out. And because the brush is so thin, it does the work for you to get a really nice wing. And you want to bring the wing off just before you get to the end of the eye, because when you do, if I did the wing and I went like this, it would make my eye look sad. Whereas if you bring it off just before you hit the end of the eye and then aim it slightly at an angle going up, it will lift the eye. I'm gonna repeat that. This dries so much quicker than I thought it did, so I'm actually gonna go in with the wing quick time, and then I'll do the rest of the eye. But look at that, so easy. And natural, like it's soft. You don't have to have like a liquid dark line, and also this is a really good way to learn how to do liners without feeling intimidated by a liquid, because they can be a bit scary. And then check they're even. They look quite even to me. And then if you want to go back in to make it slightly darker along the lash line, you will know. I feel like, yeah, I just want it a bit deeper. Nice. I'm now going to add a bit of inner eye highlight because I always think it looks so pretty. So from this palette that I'm using, it's the Hourglass Ambient and it's the butterfly one. It's got a nice gold highlight, so I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner. And it just gives the eye a really nice open eye look, but creating a bit of shimmer as well. Love that. That used to be my thing when I worked at MAC. Inner eye highlight was my thing. And then I stopped doing it and I actually really miss it because I think it's such a pretty touch to makeup. And I'm also going to use the same brush to now go down the center of my nose. This is actually called the nose highlight brush, but it works beautiful as an inner corner as well because it's tapered and very thin. And I'm going to add the highlight now to the areas that we want to pop. Ooh, that looks shiny. And like, so you go 3/4 of the way down, and then on the tip of the nose you do a little dot, and it kind of gives that, I guess, that button nose. I'm gonna go in with mascara now, and I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Black Mascara. It's phenomenal. The wand is huge, and it just gives you so much volume so fast. I wriggle the product at the root to get a lot of build up first, and then I brush through so it frames the eyes and creates that darkness around the lash line. Okay. Try and get into those inner corners because we always forget those little lashes, but they make a big difference. I don't know about you guys, but I still find mascara the least inspiring part of my makeup. Even though it's such an important part, like I don't know what I would do without mascara. Now I'm gonna go in with my bronzer, and we're gonna use brush warm up. I'm using the Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light. I'm obsessed. It makes you look like you are glowing from within, like a candle is constantly moving with you. It's just so beautiful. And you think that it wouldn't be pigmented, but it's really pigmented. So I'm gonna go over the contour. And I really just like work that into the skin. This is one of the only powders as well that I found you can use straight over cream bronzer, and it doesn't go patchy at all. If anything, it just makes everything look more flawless and seamless. Oh, we love a bit of bronzer. Just dust the sides of the nose to set it almost. Go in with the bake and just dust off that excess powder whilst also setting any areas that may need a bit of powder. And what that also does is it kind of like blends everything together. Can you see that radiance that that bronzer gives? It just looks like illuminated. I'm gonna pop a bit of blush over the top. So I'm gonna go in with the blush from the Ambient Light palette, the butterfly one, and I'm just using the pinks, these pink shades here. Again, quite high on my cheekbone. Now, because they have light reflecting particles in them, I don't add extra highlight on my cheeks. That's why I feel like putting it on the inner corner of your eyes and the center of your nose gives that nice highlighted effect that we want to just add a bit of glow. And if you ever feel like your blush has gone somewhere you don't want it to go, pick up your powder brush and just dust around it. It will diffuse that out and take away any lines or edges. Let's finish the eyes with some lower lash mascara. Loads of people don't actually wear lower lash mascara. I feel really incomplete without it. But I get why they don't, because it almost gives that doll-like effect when you don't wear it, because it kind of just keeps all the focus on the top of your eye. But no guys, I feel like it looks like I've had a clean shave if I don't have it. There we go. One of the most important parts now, lips. Because I feel naked without my lips on. I'm just gonna use 2 products for my lips to keep it really simple, because I just wanna be honest, if I had 2 products every day, what I would use, I probably would change my mind, but let's just say I couldn't. So I'm gonna go in with my pencil. These are sold out now, which is stop saying, but I'm gonna use it nonetheless. This is shade Sandy Touch, and I'm gonna create the shape first, so I don't overdraw. What I will do is, which I really like, so I'll shape the lip, then with the lipstick, and this is quite a creamy, balmy lipstick. It's by Pat McGrath and it's called Passion Flower. What I'll do is I'll apply the lipstick, really nice, like peachy nude shade, and then I'll put it on the top, and then I'll go like this. I'll purse my lips together, bringing the bottom lip, almost bringing that slightly up, so when I purse them together, it creates in the center a slightly overdrawn look, but it gives that pout to the lip. What do you think, guys? I'm gonna put my beauty marks on, because that's my little thing. One there, just over that one. And for me, if I had to have a makeup bag and this was the only products that I could have, I'd probably go for these. So what do you think? I hope that you would join me on this journey. I've got so much to share with you guys in terms of teaching makeup and just a lot of other things. Don't forget to subscribe. I need you guys. See you.